Let's go check if they survived. It was 5 degrees Celsius at the coldest in the high tunnel. So let's go check that out. Moment of truth. I transplanted lettuce 2 days ago, and I've added some pots over it because my row cover is used for my seedlings. Ooh, everything looks great. I think I have one casualty. Everything else looks great. That's fun. So we'll be eating lettuce soon. I also sown some radishes almost 2 weeks ago. They're looking good. Still lots of weeds. And my turnips are also starting to come up. This is my daughter that sowed it, so she had fun sowing those. And my peas coming up. Nothing yet for the peas. Now on the other side, let's see what happened with those. Everything looks great. I'm having such a hard time with brassicas, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbages. My first showing, most of them died. I would say 95% of them died. So I resowed them, and they look great, the ones I resowed. The last that we'll have to resow is my Brussels sprouts. Those really look sad at the moment, and I still have a couple of days to do that. But everything else seems to be fine. Positive thing, my winter sowing is doing great. Some of the seedlings are starting to pop up. Let me see if I can show you. So winter sowing, if you didn't catch that video I made, is basically jugs, transparent jugs. You put potting soil in them, you sow a couple of seeds. You don't put the cap on, duct tape, write the date that you've sown it, and you just let it do its thing. And I might do the 2 ways that I am doing now. Half of them in winter sowing, and the other half I will probably sow them later and utilize the seedling greenhouse that we should I'm gonna say it, we should build this year. Now it's just in a temporary in my high tunnel, but now that means that entire row I can't use it to grow food.
So this in the high tunnel is temporary. So I'm crossing my fingers that this year our plans work and we will be able to do a seedling greenhouse. Now I want to show you a couple ways of how I am using up my garlic. I've been having some garlic going to well, not going to seed, but germinating, and I don't want to lose it. So over the weekend, me and my kids, we just had fun cutting it, peeling it, and I canned some of it. But I also want to show you a couple different ways how to preserve garlic. Hello and welcome to Back to Basics Homestead. I am processing some leftover garlic I had. I have about 5 quarts. I didn't know what to do with them. Some of them were germinated and I wanted to make the most of it. So I'm going to show you how I canned 9 cups of diced garlic. But what you can do if you don't want to can it, you can do the same process of canning it, and you can just stick it in the dehydrator. So you peel it and then chop it, put it in the dehydrator, or in the fridge, you just put a bit of olive oil, you can put salt if you want, and just stick it in the fridge. There's many ways to preserve garlic. Even with the dehydrated one, I could have done powder or salt, but I just preferred to leave it like that. So here's a clip of what I did this weekend with the kids. What I did is I took out my food processor and I just chopped them in little pieces to the consistency that I like, and from there you can dehydrate them, you can do powder, salt, you can line them on a cookie sheet, thin layer, and put them in the freezer, and then a couple of hours after put them in a big Ziploc. Olive oil, put it in the fridge. You can also freeze them freeze these olive oil and garlic in little ice blocks, and then stick it in the fridge, and then those blocks, put them in a Ziploc. I chose to water bath these because they're shelf stable. They will not use my freezer space. They will not use my pantry, my spice pantry, because soon I will restart refilling this. So I wanted this to be in my pantry, shelf stable, for me to enjoy it for the months to come. So there's many ways to preserve garlic, but I find that this way is for the needs that I have. Water bathing it was the easier way to go. All I did is I added water, some lemon juice, and I water bath it in my little canner right here for 10 minutes and then waited 24 hours to make sure that that ping sound happened and they're sealed properly. And I just store them in my pantry. So now I have 9 cups like this. I have 1 cup of dehydrated, maybe a little bit more, and 1 cup of in olive oil, but I still have about 1 quart left. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that, maybe powder, maybe salt, I'm not sure. But it took me practically all day Saturday to do this. So I wanted to spend a little more time with the kids so that on Sunday I was able to spend time with them, do my chores, take care of my plants, and all the good stuff that's happening on the homestead. So if you do one of these recipes or one of these ways to preserve garlic, let me know so we can chat about it. And I thank you for passing by the homestead today. Take care. Bye.